A teacher's role involves more than simply standing in front of a classroom and lecturing. In fact, even though a teacher spends the majority of the day in the classroom, the actual teaching component is only part of the job. An effective teacher understands that teaching involves wearing multiple hats to ensure that the school day runs smoothly and all students receive a quality education. The relationship with the parent is one among them. Parent-teacher association helps the course. Let us now see the meaning of parent-teacher association. The purpose of the PTA is to provide a structure through which the parents or guardians of children attending school can work together for the best possible education and welfare of their children. The objectives of the parent-teacher association are to represent the views of parents, to promote a positive through liaison with the parent representatives on the board of management, to develop partnership between the school bodies, to inform parents of current changes in the education system if need be, to network with other parent associations through involvement with National Parents Council, to work as a team and to have a yearly plan, to establish a forum through which parents can communicate their opinions and concerns regarding the school, to identify issues and possibly work towards a solution, to establish a forum through which parents and teachers can exchange information and research in relation to education or welfare of children. The parent association can play their role by finding out what information parents would like or need. They can contribute to the school newsletter, helping the teachers to set up an information meeting for parents of a particular class, bringing Department of Education and Science and National Parents Council circulars or any relevant information to the attention of parents, to support parents, teachers and students to ensure that all children are treated in accordance with the ethos of the school, to support teachers and to work with them in delivering the curriculum, to elect a committee and subcommittees, example Fundraising Committee, Ethics Committee, to ensure equal participation by all parents, to access any training available for parents and staff of the school from other sources, to help plan and carry out program of activities for the year in consultation with the principal and board of management, and to run activities that involve parents and children, to help raise funds for the school and the parents association in consultation with the principal and board of management, to keep parents informed about activities planned for the school, to influence policy document at school level, to influence policy document at national level once affiliated to the National Parents Council. What is not the role of the PTA? To get involved in individual complaints, day-to-day running of the school, curriculum, appointment of teachers, carrying out activities without consultation with principal and or board of management, portraying the school, its staff, the board of management and pupils in a negative manner. Let us see the activities and benefits of PTA. Leverage volunteer power. PTA organizes hard-working, dedicated volunteers. Parents are ready to help implement school improvement programs. Improve communication. PTAs frequently coordinate production of a school newsletter and information flyers, keeping the entire school community informed of current events, issues and accomplishments. Regular meetings allow PTAs to share information with members. See measurable results. More than 85 research studies conducted over the past 30 years prove that kids do better when parents are involved. Grades are higher, test scores improve, attendance increases. Discover more dollars. Local PTAs are self-funding. By inviting the entire school's parent community to join, they generate membership fees to pay for programs. Local PTA fundraisers support school programs, building improvements and educational events. Tap into proven programs. Local PTAs have access to ready-made, easy-to-use programs with proven success records. From health and safety topics to collaborating with teachers and community members to fundraising, the programs get results. Boost children's well-being. PTAs focus on what students need to be successful in their learning, including nutrition, health, school safety, physical fitness, and general well-being. PTA works with schools to ensure that children succeed. Enjoy informed parents. Involved parents understand the challenges schools face and become part of the solution. By developing a closer relationship with parents, student achievement improves and the school develops a positive reputation in the community. Fulfill NCLB obligations. Finally, PTAs can help schools fulfill the parent involvement requirement of the No Child Left Behind Act. PTA understands the needs behind NCLB. In fact, it's PTA's definition of parent involvement that is used in NCLB. Parent and student benefits. Positive parent-teacher communications benefit parents. The manner in which teachers communicate and interact with parents affects the extent and quality of parents' home involvement with their children's learning. For example, teachers who communicate bad news about student performance more often than recognizing students' excellence will discourage parent involvement by making parents feel they cannot effectively help their children. Parents also benefit from being involved in the children's education by getting ideas from teachers on how to help and support their children, and by learning more about the school's academic program and how it works. Perhaps most important, parents benefit by becoming more confident about the value of their school involvement. Parents develop a greater appreciation for the important role they play in their children's education. When communicating with parents, consider your remarks as a teacher in relation to 3 categories that influence how parents participate. For example, are you communicating about classroom learning activities, the child's accomplishments, how the parents can help at home with their child's learning? Students' benefits. Substantial evidence exists showing that parent involvement benefits students, including raising their academic achievement. There are other advantages for children when parents become involved, namely increased motivation for learning, improved behavior, more regular attendance, and a more positive attitude about homework and school in general. Let us now see about the teacher benefits. Research shows that parental involvement can free teachers to focus more on the task of teaching children. Also, by having more contact with parents, teachers learn more about students' needs and home environment, which is information they can apply towards better meeting those needs. Parents who are involved tend to have a more positive view of teachers, which results in improved teacher morale. Good two-way communication. Good two-way communication between families and teachers is necessary for student success. Not surprisingly, research shows that the more parents and teachers share relevant information with each other about a student, the better equipped both will be to help that student achieve academically. Opportunities for two-way communication include parent conferences, parent-teacher organizations or school community councils, weekly or monthly folders of student work sent home for parent review and comment, phone calls, email or school website. Let us see some communication strategies. Personal contact, including conferences, home visits, telephone calls, and curriculum nights or open houses, seems to be the most effective form of communication and may be among the most familiar. However, the establishment of effective school-home communication has grown more complex as society has changed. The great diversity among families means that it is not possible to rely on a single method of communication that will reach all homes with a given message. It is essential that a variety of strategies adapted to the needs of particular families and their schedules be incorporated into an overall plan. Some strategies to consider include parent newsletters, annual open houses, curriculum nights, home visits wherever applicable, phone calls, annual school calendars, inserts in local newspapers, annual grandparents or special persons days, Board of Education spokesperson or communication officer at PTA meetings, homework outlines, annual field days, notices and handouts in local markets, clinics, churches, mosques, temples or other gathering sites, website for the school, workshops for parents, communications that are focused on fathers as well as mothers. Effective communication strategies involve initiation. Teachers should initiate contact as soon as they know which students will be in their classroom for the school year. Contact can occur by means of an introductory phone call or a letter to the home, introducing yourself to the parents and establishing expectations. Timeliness. Adults should make contact soon after a problem has been identified, so a timely solution can be found. Waiting too long can create new problems, possibly through the frustration of those involved. Consistency and frequency. Parents want frequent, ongoing feedback about how their children are performing with homework. Follow through. Parents and teachers each want to see that the other will actually do what they say they will do. Clarity and usefulness of communication. Parents and teachers should have the information they need to help students in a form and language that makes sense to them. Surprise a parent. Parents are not accustomed to hearing unsolicited positive comments from teachers about their children, especially in a phone call from the school. Imagine how you would feel as a parent if you are contacted by a teacher or the school principal and told that your son or daughter was doing well in school, or that your child had overcome a learning or behavior problem. When you make calls to share positive information with parents, be prepared for them to sound surprised, pleasantly surprised. Research shows that school-home communication is greatly increased through personalized positive telephone contact between teachers and parents. Remember, when a phone call from school conveys good news, the atmosphere between home and school improves. When you have good news to share, why wait? Make the call and start a positive relationship with a parent. Phone guidelines. Sometimes, as a new teacher, it's difficult to make the first call to a parent or guardian. Preparing for the call will make it easier. Before making a call, write down the reasons for the call. One reason can be simply to introduce yourself to the parent or guardian. Here are several guidelines you can use as you prepare. Introduce yourself, tell the parents what their child is studying, invite the parents to an open house and or other school functions, comment on the child's progress, inform them of the child's achievement. For example, your child is a student of the week. Inform them of their child's strengths or share an anecdote. Parents and teachers, the possibility of a dream team. Ineffective communication between parents and teachers can be a major obstacle when trying to solve problems with students, but fortunately it can be improved. Let's first examine the two major causes of communication dysfunction. Problem 1. Judgment. Teachers judge the parents of the students all the time. They judge them based on students' language, hygiene, dress and social skills. Parents judge teachers too based on comments from their children. What did you learn in school today? Is usually followed by nothing. Sometimes children accuse teachers of being unfair, picking on them, being prejudiced or a myriad of other questionable treatments. So parents and teachers judge each other constantly, and the sources of their judgments are kids, often with a vested interest. Good kids want their parents and teachers to like each other. Troubled students want the opposite. Many children can, in their eyes, benefit from animosity between parents and teachers, and they play one against the other. This is a dysfunctional form of communication. Problem 2. Dumping. The second problem is called dumping. When ineffective, frustrated or angry teachers call parents about their child, they tend to dump the problem in the parent's lap. They tell what offense the child committed and state that the parent must do something about it. This was no more effective than a parent calling a teacher about a problem at home and asking the teacher to fix it. Parents dumping on teachers is also common. They claim the teacher is responsible for a child's bad grades, bad behavior, or bad attitude. They demand that the teacher must change. Parent dumping is growing, reaching dangerously high levels with less respect and belief in the professionalism of the teacher. When parents and teachers blame each other and make unreasonable demands, the one who suffers the most is the child. Blame creates no winners and lots of losers. A shared goal. Parents and teachers have the same goal, and therein lies the remedy for these problems. Both want the best for the student. Removing the child from parent or teacher communication process can alleviate much of the communication dysfunction. I don't mean the children should be left out totally. There is certainly an important place for the child to be part of the process, but there is also a place for teachers and parents to build a relationship of their own. Both need to talk directly to each other. How teachers can help? The 3-call method. As early in the year as possible, teachers need to call as many parents on the phone as possible, hopefully all of them if their load is small enough. The purpose of the call is to welcome the parent into the learning community and to establish a positive communication line. Here is an example of the type of call I suggest. Hello Mr. Peter, I am David's teacher. I just want you to know how happy I am to have David in my classroom this year, and to let you know that if any problems should occur, I'd be happy to talk with you so we can work together to make things better. The second call is to tell the parent something good the child has done. Stay away from superficials like dress and focus on behavior, improvement and quality of work. Only after these calls have been made should the teacher call about a problem, not before. In this way, parents and teachers have already established a trusting, workable relationship that significantly diminishes blaming. How parents can help to communicate proactively? Parents too can help communication. They can inform teachers of things happening at home that might affect student behavior, a pending divorce, a serious illness, birth of a new baby, a change or addition of a medication, or a parent on an extended trip abroad are all examples of things that can help teachers. Children who strongly object to going to school, hate a certain subject, or being bullied, or have too much of homework or other helpful things to discuss with the teachers. Become a team. Finally, stop dumping and blaming on both sides. These tactics help no one, make the other party defensive, and prevents finding possible solutions. Say things like, since we both care so much about David, let's work together to find a way to improve things. Become a team, not adversaries. Share your perceptions honestly. Tell the other what works at home or in class and what doesn't. Work out a plan of action to try and be flexible enough to change it if it doesn't help. Deflect accusations by not talking them personally. It's better to say, I understand why you might feel that way, but what we really need to do is find some solutions that we both can agree to. I'd like to hear your ideas, than to say, that's not true and your son is not being truthful. I have never done that. Setting up effective communication and forming a team are very powerful tools in helping children be successful in school. Children spend most of the time at home and in school. When teachers and parents are allies and teammates, their combined influence on children is very powerful indeed. Let me give you some tips for developing positive relationships with parents. In our busy day of juggling papers, lesson planning and managing sometimes more than 100 students, we can easily forget the group that could lend significant support in our charge as teachers, parents and families. Consider these tips for improving connections with this valuable group. Smile when you see parents. Greet them. Most parents only occasionally interact with teachers, so make sure that at least 90% of your encounters with them are positive, warm and friendly. The impressions left from fleeting encounters in the hallway last a long time. Learn their names. Learn how they like to be addressed. Mr., Senora, by their first name, and how to pronounce them correctly. Declare your intention. Tell them that you want to partner with them, that you appreciate their support and look forward to working together. Communicate often and in various forms. Provide information about what's going in your class. Weekly would be ideal. What students are learning, what they have accomplished, what you are excited about, what they are excited about, and the learning and growth you are seeing. Suggest things that they might ask their child about. Ask them to tell you about what they learned last week about mealworms, or ask them to read you the haiku they wrote. Make a positive phone call home. If you have a self-contained class, call all homes within the first couple of weeks and then at regular intervals throughout the year. If you teach many students, identify those students who perhaps need a positive call home. Lead with the good news. Give positive praise first when calling parents or meeting with them to discuss a concern. Every kid has something good about him or her. Find it, share it, then share your concern. Adhere strictly to this rule. Find a translator. If you can't speak their language, seek a translator for at least one parent conference and or phone call. For obscure languages, you can sometimes find a refugee center or other public agency that can help. Reach out to those parents as well. Do whatever you can to connect. Your language is powerful. It communicates awareness that there are many different kinds of families. Be careful not to assume a mother is or isn't married, or even that if she is married to a man. Learn to ask open-ended questions and understand that sometimes parents or guardians might not want to share some information. Ask questions about the child. What kinds of things does he enjoy doing outside of school? Who are the special people in her life, family or family friends? What do you think are her best characteristics? What was he like as a little boy? Demonstrate an interest in knowing your student. Listen to parents. Really listen. They know a whole lot about their kid. Smile at the child. When talking to a parent in front of a child, smile and make eye contact with the student to demonstrate that you care about him or her. Recognize what he or she has done well in your class in front of the parents. Then share a concern if you have one. Invite parents to share. Distribute a survey at the beginning of the year. If parents don't read or write in English, students can interview them and relay their answers. Find out what parents know about and what skills they have. Invite them in, especially if it connects the curriculum and content. Let them share with you their cultural traditions, interests, passions, skills and knowledge. Let parents know how they can help. Many want to help, but especially as kids get older, parents are not asked for help as often and don't know what to do. There is always some way they can help in the classroom. Be very specific. Provide ways parents can support their child at home. You can help your child with her math homework by asking her to explain how she got an answer, or as you are reading stories at night, ask your child to make predictions. This strengthens reading comprehension. Be a broker of resources. If they share a concern, be prepared to point them to a direction where they can find help. If you share a concern, your daughter spaces out and doesn't pay attention, be prepared to suggest what the parents can do. Explain your instructional decisions. Take the time to do this and help them learn about the education system if they are not familiar with it. Help them understand what you are doing and why. Invite parents to participate in making some decisions. Invite their input. Give them information that will help them form an opinion and listen to their conclusions. Thank parents, both individually and publicly, for their support, perhaps in your weekly newsletter. Recognize what they do to help your class and how it is impacting students. Share every success. Let parents know what their child is doing well, what academic skills, social skills or knowledge he has mastered. Invite parents to celebrate and break bread together. Communities are strengthened when people come together in celebration. Start the year with a potluck. Share food and stories about food. We all bond over food. Dear viewers, in this lesson, we have seen so far about the relationship of the teacher and the parents through parent-teacher association, the benefits that the teacher and parents gets, the possibility of a dream team between them, and the tips for the teachers for developing positive relationships with the parents. Thank you.